What's up,
Hey,
everybody?
everybody.
My dog is in the crate, leaving me the fuck alone. So I am not going to be showing you guys her tonight. But she is there. I haven't killed her yet. She hasn't killed me yet. We're doing good. So welcome back, by the way. You weren't here last week.
I know. I was very busy. Work has been so busy, honestly. Like, there's a lot of into the evening till like 7, which is fine. Like, I don't dislike it. Plus, I take my little breaks throughout the day. Like, it's not like I'm sitting at my desk from 9 to 5. Like, I usually get breaks, so I don't mind working a little bit late, but it makes it hard on busy days.
I get it. I'm kind of haven't been working for so long that I'm scared to go back to work. Tell me why the fucking market is so weird right now that I was gonna work at this gym. It's a really nice high-end gym here in Kansas City. And the pay was not as good. It was $4 an hour less than working at a fucking smoothie shop. And I'm like, bro, what? I just don't understand. Maybe because people don't want to work in food. But I'm I don't consider making smoothies working in food.
I mean, I guess it technically is food service,
Yeah.
but
I'm I would rather make $4 an hour more than not. I don't know, dude. I need a fucking car. The car market is also asshole right now, and everybody on the internet wants to give me their 2 fucking cents about buying a new car. When did you buy your car? Oh, Chase is here.
Oh.
Hey, Chase.
Hi, Chase. I was trying to figure out if that was Chase or not.
We need someone to spice it up.
Did I just freeze or did you freeze?
I think you froze.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, women moment.
Did you ask a question?
Oh, yeah. I was so when did you get your new car? When was
that? It's not a new car, but I got it.
Okay, your newest car.
2019, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think May 2019. I had to get it.
But you bought it used.
Yeah, it was it's a 2011, I think.
Okay, so that's generally what I would do is go buy a car that's 4 to 5 years at the latest, because I buy Hondas. I'm team Honda for life. Those things last you forever. And so I was going into buying, I only want a Honda CRV. I will not get anything other than CRV. Okay, that's the car that I'm getting. So
it's amazing, dude.
It's such a good car. It's so cute. It's a mom car. I want kids, whatever.
It's one of the safest cars. That's why I like it. Hunting and stuff.
Right.
It's one of the safest cars you can.
There's so many in Kansas City. It's probably good for the weather and shit. So there's so many, and they're so hard to get at the dealership because 40% of the cars that the Honda dealership sells is a CRV. So I'm thinking, going into the dealership thinking okay, I'm gonna get a used car for a little bit less money. And the car that I drove was a 2019. It was $34,000. A new 2022 Honda CRV is $35,000. So I'm why the fuck would I even get a used car right now? I might as well just get a new car off the lot and drive that bitch for 20 years. I don't understand what the fuck is up with this market. But that's why it's so annoying right now when everyone's telling me, oh, don't get a new car. That's stupid. I'm have you tried car shopping recently? It's ass. It sucks. Yeah. There's nothing beyond even 2010 CRVs are still $10,000 right now. It's that's my down payment and that's fine, but that's also still a 12-year-old car. I don't know what the fuck is sorry. Oh, you're good. But yeah, I don't know what's up with this market, but I am so over it. And I'm so over everyone on Twitter giving me fucking financial advice. It's you're fucking stupid. I don't want to drive a piece of shit junk box car. I want a nice car. I'm really not a bougie bitch, but the car that I'm driving right now, it doesn't even have AC. The fucking charger thing is rusty. I can't even charge my phone. It doesn't lock. It's awful. I'm I work for nice things. I want a nicer car. So stop telling me to just go buy a car in cash. I don't want some 2005 piece of shit car. I want a nice car. That's it. I feel that's not something. I'm not asking for a Lamborghini. I'm asking for a fucking CRV. So anyways, that's been my week. I've been stressed and everyone wants to tell me what a bad financial decision I'm making. But it's also you're in your car every single day. You want a nice car. You know, you want to enjoy where you're at. You want to enjoy driving place to place. I just don't get why everything is so fucking expensive right now. It's crazy.
So I bought my car. It was like my first like nice car, right? It's not like super nice. It was 8 years old, but I got it from the dealership. I actually got a really good deal on it. I think I paid like just over 12,000 for it at the time, and there was like less than 100,000 miles on it. So I got a really good deal on it, but like that was like my nice car purchase. That was the first time I've financed a car and not just paid cash. And like honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, if I was in a position with like thousands of extra dollars in an account that I could like pay cash for a car, sure, I might do it. But like, if you don't want to get a piece of shit car, then you're gonna have to finance it and like whatever. It's not my car payment's like $200. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. And it's like, I don't think a car payment is like a awful. I mean, that's people saying it's like, oh, well, you're not buying an asset. I'm like, not everything you buy has to go up in value. Like, I'm still putting money in the stock market. I'm still, you know, doing whatever. I'm buying assets, but also I want to buy a nice car. So I just, you know,
it's not supposed to be an investment. That's I don't look at a car as like
a car that you drive for 15 years, like a Honda CRV. I would have had like 5-10 more years in my Accord if it didn't get fucking stolen, because it's a Honda Accord. I take good care of it. Chase said he'll sell me his car for $11,000. I actually would probably buy his car. I feel like it's like not a piece of shit car. Because like literally $11,000 down payment. I have $11,000 just like waiting. The problem is I just don't have a job. I had a job in California, but the government did not know about it. So they think that I made $30,000 last year, and I did not make $30,000 last year. I'm just gonna say that. I made just a little bit more. Not much.
Well, Noah can co-sign, can't he? I mean, you guys are married now.
So Noah doesn't have credit. He's never had a credit card.
A child.
He was kind of in the same thing as me, where like he worked for his money cash. And so like he's never needed a credit card, and he's also only 20. So it's like, you know, 20-year-old boys don't know what the fuck to do with money. So if anything, my mom and him are going to have to get the car for me, which I don't want to do. But like, I've been driving this junk box for 2 days, and I don't know how much longer I can handle it. I really like, I'm not trying to sound like spoiled, but like, it's awful. It doesn't have AC, and I live in Missouri. It's hot as shit.
Dude, when I first moved to California, I literally moved away like the week after I graduated high school with like $1,300 in my pocket and didn't have a car or anything. And so my first car that I bought in California was a literal piece of shit. Like, I don't even know what it was. It was like a Mazda or something. And it died on the freeway. When like a month after I got it. Like, I was driving to work on the freeway, and it literally just started like the RPMs were going up and my speed was going down.
Scary. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna die, right?
Yeah, like nothing. No, and it didn't have AC or anything. It was a disaster.
Yeah, I get it. That's basically the situation. And it's Noah's grandma's car, and she hasn't driven in years. So I'm not trying to sound like a bitch, and like I don't appreciate not having a car. Like, I appreciate that I could have gone to Target today, you know, but it's just like, God, it sucks.
Well, and like you wouldn't be in that situation if some asshole didn't steal your car. So it's
right.
So that's what
I think it just all hit me because like I was trying not to let it affect my like honeymoon and like my move, and then I had to give the rental back, and the rental was nice. It was just like a Chevy Equinox. It was nothing like crazy, but like it was a mom car, a cute little mom car, right? And like I had to give it back. And then I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
The other thing that sucks, which kind of transitions into another topic. So the car that I have, it doesn't have tinted windows, obviously. And I got followed today. I got stalked. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet.
I got stalked. Well, I don't know what you would want to. I consider it stalking if like someone is literally following you. Like, even if it's not like a long-term stalker, I feel like that was a stalking. But yeah, I got followed in my car. He followed me into the parking lot. Kind of just like pulled up next to me, wanted to have a full-on conversation with me, asking me if I wanted to have some fun. Like, bitch, yeah, I want to have fun. I want to go to fucking Target and buy some towels. Because like I'm a stay-at-home wife, and that's what I do for fun. I go to Target and I buy towels and dog food. Okay, that's my definition of fun. But yeah, so that was creepy. But yeah, I hated it, and I had to get that off my chest. I feel like even when you're in a state where like you can carry a gun, it's like everyone's just like, oh, we'll just carry a gun. I'm like, I'm not gonna just carry a gun if I'm like not trained to do that. I feel like that's dangerous, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is, but like it's not that hard to learn either. Like
No,
it's
we're gonna go to the range this weekend.
that'll be good.
Yeah, I might just have to carry my gun that I already own. I wanted to get like a newer gun, like not newer, like a new one, just smaller, fits in my body. I don't wear a lot of clothes either. Like I wear shorts that literally, you know, shape your body, like workout shorts. Like
Right.
where the fuck am I supposed to put a gun?
I
don't know.
have for my carry, I have a MMP shield. It's a 9. It's really small, really light. I have big hands, so like I used to carry a 38, and I didn't like how it was like too small for my hand.
Right.
But I really like the shield, and I got the extended mag, so it like makes the handle a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But that's a really good carry weapon. A lot of people told me, like I asked on Twitter when I was getting ready to get a new carry weapon, and a lot of people said that the shield.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to try that out. I just no, I just got to get good with the gun. I think that's more important than, but a lot of it too is just being aware of your surroundings. Like if when I noticed like the dude behind me, I was like, why is he swerving? Why is he, you know, like that's immediately when I would have been like, all right, hand on the gun. Like you just have to have good instincts too. I feel like that's a lot of it. And I mean, that's the same if someone breaks into your house. Like if you're not on top of it. So it's just more about being aware of your surroundings. I mean, if I shoot in the general direction, I'm pretty sure one of them is probably going to hit you. If not, then oh well, I tried my best. I had 10 tries. If one of those doesn't hit you, I don't know. But
and the thing is like, so this is funny because my husband and I talk about this a lot. He's always like really concerned, like, are you aware of your surroundings? And well, like, do you even know what's going on around you? I'm like, woman, it's almost like innate. Like we have to like pay attention. Men don't think about those things. Men don't think about like, oh, what if a dude kidnaps me? Like it's just it's like a different like, so we do notice things like that, like, oh, there's a car following me, or like and I think that that's a really good, like, obviously being aware of your surroundings. But then like if it's a creepy fucking dude and he still is sticking around after you pull out a gun, like,
then like
that's the fucking problem. For me, it's like, okay, if I just know I have it, and like if I really needed to pull it out, I don't think it would be an issue. I think someone would back off. But no, like you have to know how to shoot it, because what if they don't back off, or you know, whatever.
Right. Like I definitely could like shoot my gun like right now. So Gabby, she sleeps on the end of my bed until Noah gets home. And anytime she hears a noise, she barks. So the second she barks, it's like, oh, do I have to grab it? It's like you just have to be like aware of your surround. But that's something like that's partially a reason that I got a dog, is because like it just helps you feel safer, and like you're just always terrified going anywhere. I mean, not always, like I don't want to walk around like I am feeling like I'm gonna die all the time. I don't necessarily live in fear, but also like that's how bad things happen, is just like not being aware of the situation. So it's just something that we're trained to do. We have to just like know what the fuck is up all the time.
Period. Because of toxic masculinity.
Yes, toxic masculinity. So actually I rode a horse today. It was a lot of fun.
You're turning into like just literally a trad wife. Like I'm watching it happen before my eyes.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's why I'm on Twitter way too much right now. I can't wait to start working because I'm just like I'm getting bored of myself. It's like, dude, come on. But yeah, that's why I was like all on Twitter today, seeing this fucking thread about women shouldn't ride horses or bikes because it makes them sexually horny, stimulates their clitoris, because the dude fucking couldn't type clit. And that's what's so funny to me about this whole thread, is it was like he wanted to give some full-on fucking thread about like why women are whores if they ride horses, you know, because it stimulates them sexually. So what he is trying to say is when you ride a horse, your clitoris, okay, which is the organ that women have that gives them an orgasm, your clitoris is being touched. Same with when you ride a motorcycle, same with when you ride a bike. So that, for the people who love Mr. Toxic Masculinity, that is what he was talking about. A lot of the dudes that follow that guy probably don't know what a clitoris is because they don't get laid. So I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone who was confused. Okay, it's in the front of the vagina. I'm not gonna fucking show you. You can figure it the fuck out. But like, it was just so. Twitter was hilarious today.
I haven't really been on Twitter that much, like just with work and everything. But like,
it tweets to my phone, and every time you tweet now, I'm like, oh my god, Hannah's alive.
But I feel like toxic masculinity is like always a topic of conversation. Like it's and like when I think of toxic masculinity, I guess for me it would be like I don't even know how to define it. Like I think toxic masculinity is like when men, like, I don't know, I've definitely met toxic men. Like, for example, I've worked for a lot of attorneys who are men, who are successful, who are in their 40s and 50s, are assholes. And they look at women as a, lesser, oh, all my paralegals are women, or my legal assistants are women, whatever, and the attorneys are men. So I've definitely met, like, toxic men, but, like, I don't know. I just have a hard time, like, throwing that blanket statement out and being like, oh, this is toxic masculinity. I think some people are just toxic, and that's just what I don't think it has anything to do. There's women that are fucking toxic. Amber Heard is what, toxic?
Yeah, she's like the equivalent of a toxic masculinity woman, which I don't even know what you'd want to call it. A
toxic femininity. Feminism.
Yeah. I'm a feminist. I don't know. There's terms for everything these days, but yeah, it's hard to really put a definition on it. Like, I definitely think dude who fucking followed me into a parking lot was probably, I don't even know if you would want to consider that like toxic masculinity. I think that was just like creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's where you only use your masculinity to like give you some sort of like purpose in life. It's like everything you do just has to be masculine. You overdo it. It's like the only thing that like defines you as a man is being masculine, and you just can't even look at women the same anymore. But it's like there's not like one solid definition of it, because some dudes are just fucking toxic and there happen to be men. Mm-hmm. But I like masculine dudes. I don't think masculinity is toxic. I think there's just toxic masculinity. It's hard to define it.
I think that also, like, I don't know if I don't know who this like thinking line would fall into, but I think when I think toxic masculinity, I like men who are like too scared to like be in touch with their like emotions because they want to be masculine and logical, and like women are the emotional ones and women are irrational. Like, men don't have feelings, men can't cry. Like, to me, that's almost like an aspect of toxic masculinity is like, I think I like masculine men, but I think it's attractive when a masculine man is like in touch with his emotions. Like, no one wants to date an emotionally intelligent fucking dummy. Like, so I think that can be like toxic too, is just this idea of like men can't be emotional. Like, and trust me, there's definitely like a line. Like, if you have a man who's like way too emotional, then it's like, okay, this is, I don't know. I think there's an idea of like on both the left and the right of like what a man should be, and like each of them, like there can be toxic masculinity as defined by liberals, which is probably totally different than toxic masculinity.
That's like actually toxic. Yeah, it's like if you don't want a woman riding a horse because you're scared that she's gonna orgasm without you, then you are probably, there's something wrong in your brain, and you're overcompensating, trying to blame the woman, when in reality it's like, are you fucking into bestiality and you're insecure about that, so instead you're gonna like project your toxicity, your toxic masculinity onto me. It's like, dude, I just want to go fucking ride a horse, because what if shit hits the fan, you know? You got to take horseback everywhere. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that serious. Or like, you know, yeah, like, I ride my bike to work.
He's making it something that is so not sexual.
Right. And they're making it sexual because they can't control their, it's like they just hate women. And it's just like everything they do, they want to, I mean, I'm not one of those like crazy feminists, but it's like, why do you need to like hate women? Like, I think a lot of people realize women bring something to the table and men bring something to the table. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to like hate us for existing.
Right.
Like, follow us into parking lots. Fucking weirdos.
Right. Exactly. And like, I'm literally Googling what toxic masculinity is.
Yeah, like I would like to know like Urban Dictionaries.
Like, see what it says. Let's see.
Men need to be well-rounded, not just over. Yes, I agree. What is a woman? Okay, so Chase is asking what is a woman. So a woman has a clitoris.
Exactly.
That is what defines a woman. There's nothing else. If she doesn't have a clitoris, she's man. Which is also why we can't ride horses, because we have clitorises. So
Is Chase a toxic masculine?
I think many would look at Chase and be like, wow, this guy, dude, I don't know what happened to Chase's Instagram, but there was like one day he was just like posting a bunch of shit in like a red, I think it was like a communism hat, and like people would look at that and be like, oh, this dude is so toxic, he likes Trump. I'm like, it's just funny. Like, that's definitely not like but I think a lot of people would be like, oh, this is toxic masculinity, haha, I love Trump. Like, no.
Okay, let's see. This says refers to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and to men themselves. Traditional stereotypes of men as socially dominant, along with traits such as misogyny and homophobia, can be considered toxic, due in part to their promotion of violence, including sexual assault and domestic violence. Okay, I have a huge problem with that, though. I will reference Amber Heard again because she is blowing up all of this believe women are victims always, men can't be abused, all this bullshit. She's like proving it to be false, obviously. So it's like to attach like, oh, domestic violence and whatever, like only men can do that. That is such a big fucking problem for me because women absolutely can be fucking abusive and like women can lie and women can be toxic. And like, just because you're a man or you are masculine, that's not the reason that you're a piece of shit. You're just a piece of shit if you're a piece of shit. Like,
yeah. No, I agree. And I was like, I've been watching Jersey Shore, like the newer episodes. They're not new. They came out in 2018, but like Ronnie and his baby mama, like she literally ran him over. I'm not trying to laugh. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. She ran him over with a car. She punched him in the face. He had to go to the hospital. And then he would still be like, oh no, it's good. I love her. That's my baby mama. I'm just like, dude, like she's literally abusing you. Like, it goes both ways, but like, I don't know. He's just, it's like when you're in an abusive relationship, you don't realize it on both ways. Like, men can definitely be abused and get ran over with cars by their baby mama and still be like, oh, it's fine, you know, like I'm a man, bro. Like, it's all good. Run me over again. Break my ribs.
Toxic masculinity.
I'm a man, right? Ronnie is slightly toxic. I'm sure they like both abuse each other, but okay, someone has this one's okay. How is toxic masculine homophobic? There's nothing more masculine than only. I agree with that.
100%.
Oh wait, okay. Quick question: what do you feel about the? Did you watch the Madison Cawthorn? I know it was like a few weeks ago. Did you watch those videos of him like?
Okay, honestly, like it's just funny. Like that's a dumb ass frat dude. Frat dude. Like it's not scandalous or gay or like what.
And like,
it's not a big deal. But
this is the thing too, is like he's literally what, 24, 20, like he's our age, right?
Yeah.
He's in the Snapchat era. Like I had old videos pop up of like my friends, like when we were all just like sitting around smoking weed, and like a twerking song would come on, and my guy friends would like twerk on each other and like hump each other. And like I have that shit on Snapchat because I was like, haha, this is so funny, I'm gonna record it. And it's just like that's the era that we're from now, is that
Right.
like people record funny shit like that. That doesn't mean anything. It's just two bros being bros, like get a little high, do a little humpy hump on my bro, like not a big deal. But like now, unfortunately, like it's out there for people to see because like everything is fucking out there.
Right.
So I mean, I don't, I don't think that it's a big deal. My friends used to do that. My friends used to snort shit out of other male friends' buttholes as a joke. Like I don't think it's gay. I think everyone used to do that. I think it's like something that boys do at that age, but now it's just, oh, your friend's recording it on Snapchat and it's gonna get out there.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Chase made a good point. Like, who leaked the video? Like, I know that
Yeah.
videos exist. Like you said, like you have videos of your friends. I know that there's videos of me probably doing and saying unfavorable things on other people's Snapchats. Like,
Oh yeah, or like look at these live streams.
right, but like what? Like none of my friends would ever take that video
Yeah.
and like release it or send it out or like leak it or whatever because they're my friend. So it's like, is this
Right.
person like?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like people from the GOP, because like the GOP is like such a shit show. If it was like someone paying his friends like money to like leak it or like send it to them, like you know, you could, if someone offered you $20,000 to leak a video of your friend, like when you're that age, you're like, dude, $20,000, fuck yeah, you know how many drugs I could buy with that? Like you're gonna fucking take the $20,000. And like they probably don't really talk to him anymore because he's in Congress now, right? So it's like you're not gonna talk to your frat boys. So I'm sure someone in the GOP just paid and like, look, they got their way. He like dropped out of the race now. So
yeah.
That was Madison's biggest mistake. If that was his biggest mistake, I don't think that was that bad. I personally want him to be in politics because it makes him like a little bit more relatable. So,
and I think that will, I honestly think like as our generation like kind of takes over and moves into Congress and moves into Washington and like is taking over the leadership of the country, like this is going to happen more because of the nature of like social media and like what we grew up with back when, you know, any politician who was over the age of 40 back when they were teenagers or in their 20s or whatever, there's not everybody's recording Snapchats on their phone all the time. Like this is going to become more prevalent, I think, of like personal videos or moments or whatever from like social media. They're gonna like it's gonna become a thing in politics more and more.
I mean, right now, the people, most of them in politics, aside from like AOC and like Cawthorn, and like, I mean, those are just the big ones that I know, but they did not have that social media generation. Even my older brother, he's like 35 or he turned 36. Like, he didn't have to grow up with that. And it's like, it was just not something that that generation had to deal with. So then when they see that, it's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. Like, two dudes having a no homo drunk moment. Like, that's what you used to do. But all those people are going to die out eventually. So what are we going to do when every single person running for Congress has some sort of, you know, bad video out there on the internet? Because everyone's going to have something. Are we just gonna, like, base off who had the best bad video? Like, whose was the least bad of all the bad ones?
Yeah. Like, I talk about this with my aunt. Like, she's mentioned to me before, just like how glad she is that she grew up when she did, because she's like, I did so much stupid shit in high school and like when I was younger and college and whatever, that if pick videos and stuff were taken like they are now, like she wouldn't have a career. Like it would, she's like, I'm so glad that none of that evidence exists, because if it ever, you know, things that I did when I was in high school or in college, like if there was pictures and evidence of it, like,
oh my God,
that would ruin your life.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, that's unfortunately what we have to deal with. And I mean, even employers too are going to have to be like, is this worth not hiring this person because they have this video out? Or like, because everyone's got something these days. I think anyone under the age of especially 25 like has something out there that's stupid that could fuck them up for a career. But it's like, maybe we just need to not let it affect careers. And I mean, I understand it a little bit affecting politics, but like, I would vote for like a porn star to be a politician. I don't give a shit. I don't care what you do for work or for your personal life. I just care about like what you're doing for my country. So if you want to do porn, like okay, I'm not gonna watch it, but like there's gonna have to be a point where we can't let this shit affect who can be a politician or not.
Well, and it's like what we've talked about before with like, especially with Trump and everything, like people paying attention to the personality rather than like the policy and the decisions that they're making in Washington.
Right.
Like, really, that video of Madison Cawthorn matters this much in
Oh yeah,
the world.
The GOP blows it up so they can make their people in the GOP win.
Right, but it's like, okay, so why are like we're paying attention to it's all this bullshit about, oh, look at this person, and like don't actually look at what they're doing at their job. Like look at their personal life. And it's like that doesn't happen to people. In my corporate job, my corporate life is very much separate from my personal life, and like the potential,
and it should be that way for a reason.
Exactly. And like the things I do in my personal life don't affect how good I am at my job and if I'm doing my job effectively. So why should it matter for politicians? I get it, it's a game, whatever, people have to vote for them, but like really at the end of the day, that's not what's important. What's important is what decisions he's making and his policies.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have like a career job, to be honest, because I just, first of all them OnlyFans pictures that are out there. Second of all, my tweets are probably worse than the OnlyFans pictures. So, yeah. It's like, oh, titties, everyone's got some titties. Whoa, she tweeted about what? Oh my God, no, not hired.
Yeah, dude, that was really scary for me. Like during my job search, I was private for a while and stuff because I'm like, yeah, I get that I have to think about that. Like I put myself out on Twitter and stuff, and I put my beliefs out there, and I know that there's a lot of people who agree with me, but there's also a lot of people who disagree with me. And that's like it's like scary. It was scary for me to be like, okay, I'm applying for a corporate job in corporate America, and I have this anti-establishment, persona online.
Right.
And it's just weird.
Everyone's a little anti-establishment.
What's super funny, so on Tuesday I went to the office. Those are like our office days now. And I went to lunch with my bosses, and that we were talking about like wedding planning and stuff and like my black dress. And one of my bosses asked me if I was a goth. And I was like, I guess sort of. And like, he's like, well, what does goth mean to you? And I gave him like some sidestep answer about like just being alternative or whatever. But then my other boss goes, I think the words you're looking for are cynical and anti-establishment.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I think you're probably right at that. And then my boss was like, oh, I think it's really funny that you're anti-establishment, but you work in a corporate structure. Like, I got to play the game. Yeah. I'm smart enough to know this is how it works. I can disagree with it. I can think it's stupid, but at the end of the day, I got to pay my fucking mortgage. No, so 100%. I'm going to grind.
Someone asked, do we have a favorite philosopher? Do you want to answer that? Because I know who mine is. Type in the chat if you know who my favorite philosopher is.
Who's considered a philosopher these days?
I'm just going to answer Ayn Rand because she's the best. I think she's like a philosopher, but like, bro, have you read Atlas Shrugged? Because I've read Atlas Shrugged.
I took a political philosophy class in college, and I'm trying to even remember like what we read or anything in that class. I mean, obviously like Plato and shit. But I don't know. Are there philosophers that are like not dead thousands of years ago? Me. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Do you know how fucking smart I am? Like, I'm so
smart. Sarah is my favorite philosopher.
People think that I'm dumb, and that's why I do this like funny thing online, because like I know how smart I am. Like, I know about the reptilians. I know about all the shit. Like, my philosophy is like, fuck all of them. I'm smart as fuck. I don't need to read. I made a tweet about this earlier because like Dennis was trolling libertarians, and so I was like, I want to troll them. I like posted a picture of like Rothbard, Mises, Ron Paul. I was like, why do I need these white men to tell me like that the government's bad? I already know the government's bad. I'm like, this is like just they're so like no, it's fine. I have nothing against any libertarian philosopher, but like my problem is just I think people get way too into theory and it's like, dude, go out there and actually do something. I mean, maybe they need to get inspired by the old white men first. I don't know. But I'll be honest, like I read Anatomy of the State and I was like, this is news to people. Like, dude, I've been knowing this since I was fucking 14 that the government's a scam. Like, why is this like some mind-blowing information? Mr. Rothbard, don't get me wrong, he worded it very well, way better than I could have ever worded it, but it wasn't like mind-blowing information for me. So I don't really fuck with philosophers. I feel like I'm just fucking smart. I don't need your philosophy. Way too much off on an egotistical tangent there, but
no, I sort of agree. I think it's good to obviously educate yourself, but like you said, I think we've talked about it before too, just like people paying attention to the theory of like
right
behind political systems or the theory of government or the theory of what things should be. Okay, yeah, theories are great, but they're theories for a reason.
Right.
It's not like, reality.
Things are happening now that we need
right.
to
and theories are meant to like, okay, I can connect this theory to like what's going on right now and like the concepts and the principles of it, but like theory in itself is like, I feel like it's just something people like, oh, I read theory. Oh, you're so smart. Really, it doesn't really mean anything. That's
right.
Great. You read theory. What is it doing for your life? What is it doing for the country? Like,
right.
Be educated. Absolutely educate yourself, but like, don't put yourself on a high horse for reading theory because.
Right. It's like that just means that you have no friends and you never go out and you sit at home and read because you don't have a life. You know, it's like.
I mean, yeah, the only time I ever read theory was in college. Like, I would never choose to like spend my time.
No, I honestly, I feel kind of bad because like when I first got into like libertarianism, like heavy, I ordered all these books and they're just like sitting on the shelf. Like I read Ayn Rand. I've been reading every single day. I read before bed. And that's like what I'm reading right now is Fountainhead. I'm still reading it. It's taking a long time. She writes so well. But I have all these books sitting there. And like I have literally like 4 or 5 hours. I just sit at home. I was like, I'm going to watch Jersey Shore. I would have way rather see Ronnie get ran over with the fucking car than read a white man talking about theory at this point. I think there just comes a point where you just like kind of get tired of politics.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's like our world is actually being destroyed. Do I want to sit here and like read a man like that is dead saying like that this was going to happen? It's like, well, now it's happening. What am I going to do about it? I don't know. Yeah. Probably just cope, drink wine, and watch Jersey Shore and pretend like it's not all happening. But what you gonna do? Wow, you guys are low key flaming. Yeah. I'm too busy living in Ancapistan in my head. This is a good point. A lot of people just live in Ancapistan in their head. And that's my problem with it. I like to live in the real world. So that's all.
And like at the end of the day, like my husband and I were talking about this last night. We do what we can like for the state of the country and whatever, as frustrating as it is. But really, like at the end of the day, I care about my house, my husband, my property, and my cats. And when it comes down to like anything else, like I'm sorry, but like I'm not going to ever fight in a war for this country because one, I don't believe that the current state of our country is something to fight for. And two, like if the feds come knocking on my door to draft me into a fucking war, I'm sorry. I'm going down guns blazing and I'm not fighting for you. I'm going to fight for myself. And like at the end of it's about me and I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like because now that I'm married that I've stopped like caring so much, but maybe it's just like when you have a life, I mean, you're working like 10 hours a day, you're married, you have cats, I have the dog, like you have things going on and it's just like you just kind of realize, yes, the government sucks. And this is why, like, I want to make a difference because that's what I want to be able to do is mind my fucking business in my house with my family and like that. And I want them out of my business. And so that's why, yes, it is important, but it's also just like, you're not going to worry about it. Like, it's so exhausting to go on Twitter and see that Joe Biden is sending another $40 billion to Ukraine. I mean, do you know how many tweets I've seen about that? He's done it like 5 times. It's like, bro, stop. But it's like, it actually like aggravates me and stresses me out. Cause it's like, I need a new car. where's my money? Like, you're taking my tax money that I could be using for a new car and you're sending it to Ukraine. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know foreign policy. I don't know anything about it, but like, I'm not in the best financial situation right now. So why are you sending my money to Ukraine? It just literally fucks with me. It's like, I would rather pretend that it doesn't exist. And that's ignorant. And I get that. And that's like, I'm trying not to do that. But also, like, what are you going to fucking do about it? What are we supposed to do about Joe Biden sending 40 million to Ukraine? You can't. So you have to find the balance of like not letting it eat you alive either.
Right. And I think like for us too, like just in comparison with someone like Olivia, for example, like I could have taken the path that Olivia did and really like thrown myself into the politics thing. And I talk about this with my husband. I took a different path. I have a corporate job. I have a career that is very separate from the politics. Politics isn't my job. And like, I could have made it my job. Absolutely. Right. I had opportunities. Like, if I really wanted to have gone that way, I could have. But like you said, like, it's exhausting. Yeah. Like, I'm pissed about all the shit that's happening right now. Right. So like, why am I going to devote my career and my life to only like focusing on those things when for me, I have a life and like politics is kind of like a fun hobby and like whatever for me. It's not like I depend on it, make money. And I think that when you're not in that position and you have a life outside of like politics and it's not your job, it's easier to kind of like disassociate. Like I think about like what if I was in Olivia's position and I'm like just having a week where I'm like, I don't care about this stuff. I care about what's happening in my life, but she has to go on Fox News and she has to talk about it.
That's like crazy. I mean, I think because we have friends too that are like doing politics as their job. I mean, like even Chase, you know, like when you can see like how dedicated they are, I think that's partially what like drew me away from it a little bit, is just like seeing my friends do it and being like, I am so fucking proud of you, but I cannot do that because I don't have like, it's just not my passion. And maybe it's more of a hobby than my passion. Like my passion is like health and fitness. So like that's the career that I need to stick with. It does not need to be politics. And this can be a fun thing that you incorporate, you know, make a little OnlyFans off your followers, whatever, like do that. That's fine. But it's like seeing people do it that I love, that are my friends, that I talk to every day. It's like mad fucking respect. And that's how I know that I'm not cut out for it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. I mean, I would go literally insane. I think the best part about it though is just like the friends and the community that you make, and that is a benefit of having a more of a following, even if we don't really make money off of it, is because it's like, well, you know, you meet cool people that have a following, that do it as their career. Like you get to meet a lot of cool people, you know, and you can kind of like live the life a little bit, but not make it your whole life. It's like, hey, I'm going to step out for a convention. Let me be really into it for 2 weeks and then like take a step back for a few months.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of why I like took the path that I did in like my career, is like, I love politics. I would honestly like classify politics as a passion for me. Yeah. But I don't want to have to like play the political game to and depend on that for my livelihood. Like what happens if you say something on Fox to somebody off and you stop getting booked on Fox News, or you stop, you know, getting appearance requests and stuff? Like it's so stressful and so much pressure to like know, okay, this is what I'm doing and this is my job and I have to like make money doing this. Like for me, that's not what it was about. Like I love politics and I'll be involved at the capacity I want to be involved in, but I'm not going to use it as my cash cow or like play that game to like make it lucrative for myself.
I don't even know if it's necessarily politics that you like, because like I'm the same way. I hate fucking politics. I didn't even know what state Dr. Oz was running in until this morning on the news when I saw the pencil. I was like, oh, Dr. Oz is running. I have a friend working on Dr. Oz's campaign. Just now found out what state he's in. That's cool. Like I hate politics, but I love when I meet like red-pilled people that like they're not sure how to, like, you know, I've met people like, yeah, the mask thing was a little much. I'm like, oh yes, pop off, like fuck them. Like it's so cool when you like meet people on that vibe where you just like want to hate authority. I have a passion for hating the government and authority. But it's like the politics thing, that's where I think I got a little too sucked into it, is like I was trying to do all the theory. I was trying to keep up with who politicians are, elections, and that's when I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. I'm going back to just hating the government, you know, posting memes, and like that's how I'm going to best get people to understand this shit. Is because that's just who I am. Like, you want me to read Murray Roth? You want me to read fucking Human Action? That shit's like this big, bro. Like I'm not going to do that and pretend that that's what I want to do when I just want to like be myself and talk about how fucked up the government is. And it is cool sometimes when you're reading a book and you're like, wow, like, oh, so that's how come this happened. But it doesn't have to be that. You can do is, if you hate the government, you hate the government. And there's a lot of people out there that will hate the government with you.
Yeah.
So just be yourself when you do it.
Totally. And that ties to the last comment on the chat. Like, if you make it your cash cow, you're more likely to sell out. That's something that was always in the back of my mind. Like, I never wanted to not be authentic, or to get into a position where I know that this is how I pay my bills, and so I have to say certain things or take certain brand deals or whatever that are inauthentic to me, because you are more likely to sell out. You're more likely to say what's going to keep the money coming in rather than being authentic and true to like what your actual.
Yeah, I feel like that's what like Candace Owens did a little bit. Is she kind of like definitely, you know, and like Steven Crowder, like all those people, they just, their opinions now are so far right. It's like, were you really that far right before, or are you just like pleasing the crowd? I mean, you can admit that yes, there's racism in America. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. You don't have to make it your fucking personality trait and go the whole opposite direction of like, oh, there's no racism, this and that. Like, you can talk about issues without like selling out. And I just think a lot of people, you see them later on in their career, the bigger they get, the more followers they get, they become way more radicalized by whichever side they're going for.
Because that's how you keep the money coming in. It's like, I might not authentically believe this in my true self, but I know that it's going to get me deals. I know it's going to get people to buy my book. I know it's going to get people like really on my side and get people talking about me. Like, I never wanted to be in that position, because then that takes away everything that I love about how my involvement in politics is, like being authentic, saying fuck all the time, like calling out the bullshit. Like, I don't want anyone to police what I'm saying. And when you enter into a situation where you're making money doing, you are like, it just, that's the way it is. And
it's like having to back it up with facts too. That's what's annoying. It's like, oh, well, why don't you want to get the COVID vaccine? Because it's fucking bad. Well, why? Source? I made it up. Like, I'm not here to sit here and like prove shit to you. Like, I just know in my soul and my heart that it's bad. I'm not going to fucking go off and find 50 million medical articles to get you to agree with me. Like, that's just how I feel. That's what I know in my heart. And like, I don't want to do all that research when there's just like things that, you know, I don't know if it's just like you're awakened, whatever, but like you get it. It's like you just know shit, and like you don't want to have to back it up with facts all the time, because it's not your job. It's not your, you know,
or it's just your opinion. And it's like, well, I don't need to have facts to back up my opinion. If I feel this way about something, there's probably a million reasons I feel that way. I don't need to write you a fucking bibliography about what my opinion is. Like, my opinion is formed from my life choices and my knowledge of subjects and shit. And like, I try to inform myself so that I can make, you know, informed opinions and not just sound like a dumb shit, not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. But I don't need to justify my opinion to anybody. Like, when you are in a position like, you might have to justify your opinion to a network or to an outlet that you're writing for, or to someone else's, you know, podcast if you're getting invited on. Like, it's just, I putting that pressure on yourself like takes the fun out of it for me. I just like to bullshit and say funny stuff and talk shit, and like, that's my involvement. And am I doing anything fucking revolutionary, and am I changing the American political landscape? Absolutely fucking not.
Maybe, I never know. Maybe, like, you never know who's gonna come across your shit, and that's why it's best to just be yourself and not sell out. I mean, even fucking yesterday, I literally quote tweeted like one of those things from the library. Like, I guess there's shit going on, and then there was a picture in a library, like a flyer talking about like gender pronouns, and I quote tweeted it, and I was like, kids don't need to learn about gender pronouns. They need to go watch Cocomelon. Like, as a joke, because my dog watches Cocomelon. So I was like, haha, this is a funny tweet. And then I've literally had people for the past day arguing about gender theory in my mentions. And I was like, dude, this tweet was supposed to be about Cocomelon. It wasn't supposed to like start this whole like discourse about gender. I'm just like, I did not want that.
Right.
So, like, it's just so like annoying. And then you have to, oh, well, why don't you think kids should learn about this? Like, Cocomelon's bad too. It's like, bro, I don't know. It was just a tweet, man. Like, I just think Cocomelon's cool. I like my dog, she watches the little songs and the dances. Like, I don't know. It was not supposed to be a serious thing. And that's just how it fucking is when you have to be political on Twitter. It's nice not being so political. It really is. Like,
yeah, I tweeted something like a lot, well, not something like that, but I tweeted something about the Met Gala and like compared it to like the Hunger Games. I don't know if you've seen the Hunger Games or read it, but like,
yeah, I saw the first
Capitol. I like made a joke about how the people going to the Met Gala are like the people in the Capitol, and the people watching the Met Gala hearing so much about it are in their poor, starving districts. People got so mad at that tweet. People are like, just because you like fashion means that you're contributing to the downfall of America. That's a really stupid opinion. I'm like, that's not what I fucking said. I was making a joke about the Hunger Games. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are people so like? Everyone wants to get offended, and that's like, I could never be in a political job because I offend a lot of people, and like,
and having to explain why you said that and like have to write out some whole like apology video. It's like, dude, trust me, I've done the stupid tweets. I've came on the live shit. I've had to do the apology tweets. I'm done with it. Like, I'm not fucking doing it anymore. Like, just to have to explain what you meant by something, that would be even worse. Like, yes,
or explain that it was a joke.
Right. It's stupid. And it's like, why do you need me to say why I want kids to watch Cocomelon and not gender pronouns? There was no need for me to, like, you guys to be arguing about this shit in my mentions.
Right, exactly.
Like, I can't imagine having to sit there and, like, say why I tweeted something. You're probably the same way. Like, most of the time you'll see something funny and you're like, oh, this would be a good tweet. Like, literally, me and Noah will be having a whole ass conversation and he'll say something and I'll be like, wait, that's a tweet. And then I'll go online and then I'll log off and then I'll come back to like 100 notifications and I'm like, wait, oh yeah, I forgot I tweeted that. Like, it's not something that you like think about for the rest of the day. Like, oh, I tweeted this. It was just like, I don't know, I just tweeted it. It wasn't like that serious.
Yeah, I literally, I stopped myself from doing that the other day. Patrick and I were having a conversation about like just America and people voting. Said something at one point where I was like, less people should vote. Like, people who are voting are stupid and like less people should do it. And so I was like, I'm in my head, I was like, that's a funny tweet, like less people should vote. But then I didn't even tweet it because I was like, this is gonna make people like, this is going to offend somebody and it's gonna like get me banned or something. Like, I literally like censored myself for the first time because I was like, oh my God, I can't say that because I'm going to like make someone mad. And then I like, that's so annoying. Now I'm literally going to tweet it because I'm just
you're not anything except just like a Twitter person. And that's the, I mean, it's cool to have a lot of followers. Like, I am more grateful for it than I am not, but like just the shit that comes with it sometimes, it's like, bro, why do I owe this random stranger an explanation on my opinion that took 10 seconds out of my day to go online and like, now they all want your, well, why do you say that? Like, because I do. I don't know. Fuck you. Like, it's not that serious.
Sometimes I forget that, like, I had someone say to me once, like, just remember that every time you tweet, you're tweeting to a stadium size, like, group of people that are, like, reading your shit. And I'm like, I literally forget that sometimes. Like, I forget that I have so many people following me. So I'll come up with, like, something funny. And then I'm like, oh, shit, this is going to, like, way more people than I meant it to.
I know. I forgot which tweet you had recently that got like 40K, but it's like, because I get your tweet. I've been getting your tweets to my phone since we started live streaming. So there was like one time you tweeted something. I was like, oh, that's a cool tweet. I liked it when it had like 10 likes. And then I go back 2 hours later or the next day, I was like 40,000 likes. And I'm like, wait, Hannah, the girl that I was texting earlier about something totally unrelated, like her tweet. It's just so weird. It's like, how does this happen?
It is weird. And like, it happens, like, I feel like when tweets like that blow up, like it's always a tweet that I just like send and I'm like, just, I don't think about it, whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like blowing up. That happened with, I made some tweet about like the $15 minimum wage or something like a long time ago and how like fast food would get more expensive because of $15 minimum wage, and that one blew up and made like so many people mad. It was on the front page of Reddit, was like someone like clowning me for my tweet, and then I had like people sending it, like people in my real life sending it to me being like, oh, I saw this on Reddit, like literally making fun of me, like, oh, you got clowned on Reddit. Like, I just tweeted. Like, I'm not trying to like be on the front page of Reddit and like make people mad. Like, I'm just saying stupid shit. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, there's literally no thought that goes into it. We're just like stupid people. I mean, I don't think we're stupid. I think we're smart. I think we're entertaining. I think people like us for a reason, but this is exactly true. Like literally just some of the tweets that I were like, oh, that's going to be a banger. It like doesn't do that well.
Yeah, right?
100. I'm like, that didn't really pop off. And then like the most random ones was like, oh, all right. I guess a fucking tweet about wanting Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan to run a train on me is going to get 5,000 likes. Like this was literally, all right. I guess that's what we're going with.
And that's like why I'm like, okay, so any random dumb tweet that I tweet out without thinking about it could like blow up. Like that's why I can't have a job in politics, because then it's like,
yeah,
oh, this tweet of yours blew up, and I'm like, I was literally just being funny. Like it made people mad, but like I thought it was a funny joke. But like you have to answer to like all these people who like get mad.
Imagine having to fucking fact check yourself.
Oh my god!
Like before you want to tweet. And like you have to go through and make sure your information's correct. It's like if my information's wrong, I'm just like, okay, well, source, I made it up. Like, don't take it seriously, bitch. But
seriously, stop taking me so seriously. That's like my message to everybody who follows me and everyone who is going to be offended by my tweets in the future. My message to you: stop taking shit so seriously. I make jokes. Like, I mean, it's fine.
Exactly. Ayn Rand is the best philosopher of all time. That's what I have to say. I mean, if you don't like Ayn Rand, you're stupid, you're ignorant, you're a sexist. You also hate ugly people because she wasn't the most attractive. So
probably a misogynist, probably a homophobe. No, not
you're definitely I mean, I'm pretty sure Ayn Rand was probably transphobic though. Based. Kidding. I'm joking. I don't know what she was. I don't think trans people were really like a thing back in the day that she would have made a statement on that. But if you hate her, then you're the worst. Wait, what is it pronounced, Chase? Pronounced Ayn Rand.
That's why there's a Y in there.
Who is Ayn Rand? I don't know. I made it up. I don't know what that is.
She's a great philosopher. No one's ever heard of her.
Ayn Rand. I did know that. I'm just stupid. I would have hit it. I would have hit it too. Like I would have, she told me some shit about. So I need to watch The Fountainhead, but I'm still reading the books. But I do need to watch those movies. Chase has done live streams of them on his Getter, and I'm like, I can't watch it because I'm not done with the book. But I'll watch it eventually. Well, I feel like we had a good live stream for not we have everything planned out. What do you mean?
Always. We have a script that we follow.
That's so funny. One of the ones my mom because my mom watches everyone, and she was like, wow, that was such a good live stream tonight. Like with Juliana, you guys did great. I was like, thanks. We literally pulled it out of our ass 5 minutes before. She was like, that was your best one. I was like, all right, we're just going to start winging it. I'll have like one topic, and then usually we could just ride off that, but faces don't go. I have to go. I have to vacuum and like do shit. And Hannah has a wedding to plan, but
I know. Fuck.
We only go an hour. We don't do 8-hour streams saying let's go Brandon for over and over and over. I'm sorry, we're not that cool. But, mad respect to those who do. Cool. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I don't think so. No. I'm so excited for the Johnny Depp trial to be over so we can do like a big breakdown of everything. We'll do a longer episode for the conclusion of the Johnny.
I mean, we usually only was going to have girls, but then we had fucking Justin O'Donnell and Tack on, so then we have guys on now. So if you want to come on, it'd be fun. You can come on if you want. We need guests. We haven't had a guest in a while. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. Fuck you if you follow women into a parking lot, and fuck these car prices. So,
period, queen.
All right, thanks for coming, guys. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
Bye.